Hey everybody, how's it going today? So today I wanted to talk a little bit about a little article I read yesterday on emotional sobriety. I really never heard of the term before, but I was doing a little research for my YouTube channel, and I was on Google Trends just to see what some of the keywords might say or phrases might say when I type something in. So naturally, being that this channel is faith-based and sobriety-based and that kind of thing, I typed in sobriety, and that term came up, emotional sobriety. So I read a little bit about it, and I kind of thought, well, how many of us drink or drank to kind of suppress all the feelings that we had on a daily basis, the ups and the downs and all the feelings that we had on a daily basis. How many of us just tried to drink those away? I know I did. I had a few things on my mind regarding that, but the quote that I got from Cleveland Clinic says emotional sobriety is freeing yourself from being controlled by your emotional state, and that no matter how happy or sad you get, you're able to cope with life on life's terms. And when I was drinking, I was just up and down. I mean, I was either really happy or really down. It was never really stable. And that roller coaster was something that I kind of looked at and thought, I kind of like it, It felt normal. It felt like something that it was mine. I had control of it, and that was just one of the reasons why I drank. It was just I just thought it was the way that it was supposed to be. But as I quit drinking, I started to realize that just being sober was just part of it. There was actually a whole emotional aspect that goes along with that. And some of the terms that I wrote down was that I struggled with was overthinking, ruminating on a lot of negative things, low self-esteem, wanting more, wondering if there was more, questioning what my purpose in life was, and then just embracing the fact that I would have to quit drinking in order to achieve those things. So the overthinking and the ruminating, that was just something that I had struggled with pretty much my entire life. I mean, I drank those feelings away, but as we all know, you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and you're worried, you're anxious, your heart's beating fast, you're thinking about what you may have said, you're thinking about what the next day is going to be like, you're worried about everything from the past and what might happen in the future, and you're never really able to stay in the present moment. And at least that's what I found. And the only time I felt like I was really in the present moment was when I got my alcohol and I went home and I was just there and I knew I wasn't leaving. And then that's really when I was just kind of in my moment. But that wasn't really living. That wasn't really what I wanted out of my life. And so once I quit drinking, I was able to kind of capture that. And come to terms with, this is going to take work and it's going to take time, and I'm going to have to really invest in myself in this. And so I've gone into detail about that in my past videos about my first 6 months of sobriety and how I was in therapy. I was pretty much weekly on therapy, and I was on Zoloft for about 3 years leading up to when I quit, but I was on the Zoloft for about 6 months while I was doing the therapy after I got sober. And after about 6 months, I was really able to not do therapy anymore, and I went off the Zoloft as well. And the ruminating and the overthinking was a lot better at that point. I mean, it was night and day between the two, between when I quit and the 6 months after I quit. The low self-esteem, I mean, that really got better as time went on. I started to really feel empowered by getting through the urges to drink, and that was the beginning and the basis of that. And it really did make me feel like I was stable and not riding that roller coaster every day. Gave me a boost of self-esteem to the point where it was like, I'm in control of my own life now. Alcohol is no longer at the wheel. I'm driving, and I can choose how I feel in any given moment, and it's really empowering. It really is. I'd say it's one of the biggest blessings of being free of alcohol and any drug for that matter. So then purpose, my purpose, that was a big thing, because when I was pondering if I wanted to quit drinking, that started in around 2017. I had a childhood friend of mine I heard pass away, and he drank himself to death, and that really just changed things for me. I started questioning it. I started really wanting to know if I could quit, if I wanted to, how I could quit, and that kind of thing. And when the pandemic started and my drinking accelerated, there was a moment in time when I was sitting there and I had nothing else to do. Typically I'd watch sports and drink most nights, but since there was no sports, there was really just like, I don't know, TV shows, movies, whatever, but there wasn't a lot of new material coming out. So once I ran out of stuff to watch, it was like, what am I doing? I'm just sitting here and I've been drinking all day, and I'm like 10 beers in, and I'm sitting there and wondering, is this all there is to this life? There's got to be more. And that's really when I started to wonder what I was going to do and question my drinking, and if how I could quit. And so as those weeks went on, and I kept drinking more and more, I eventually was able to just get down on my knees. I was crying and I was asking God to take away the pain. And it was just a couple weeks later that I got sober, and it was really just a blow up at my family that really opened my eyes to that. But as time went on, and I was starting to feel like emotionally better in my life and everything like that, and growing and things. I found my church, and my faith became kind of part of my purpose, my goal every day since basically my church launched is to do things for God's glory and God's kingdom, and not my own, and not anyone else's on this earth, really. It's just I found that my faith is what really keeps me going, and it keeps me excited, and it keeps me just full of life. There's so much. I've always been a person that enjoys adventure, and I just find that every day is a new adventure. I have my same routines when I get up every morning, but the day is different every day, and there's always something new and something exciting, and I feel like God has that in store for me, and always has. And but the drinking was always holding me back. So that's just part of my purpose. It's not my sole purpose, but it's a major part of it. And so when I struggle, I do ask God for guidance, and I'm provided that every time. And so that's where I am. That's what I got from emotional sobriety, and I hope you found some value in this, and wherever you are in your journey, I hope that you can embrace the emotional aspect of this, of being sober, because there's a lot in store, and just quitting alcohol was the first step for me. Growing in my emotional state was even more rewarding than quitting alcohol. So hope you all have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.